If you are a homeowner and you have pets, you know that they bring warmth and comfort to our home. However, if you are trying to sell your home, then you might be surprised that not all buyers agree with you. I know, shocking, right? But not all buyers enjoy going out and playing fetch with your animal, or not all buyers are excited about sitting on a chair like myself and snuggling up to one of the fur babies next to a cozy fireplace. In fact, there is an assumption out there in the world of real estate where some buyers feel that if a homeowner has fur babies, that their home is unkept. Now, we want to eliminate those thoughts as quick as we possibly can and as thorough as we possibly can. So it's oftentimes a real estate agent is going to provide you with tips on what to do when you are trying to sell your home as a homeowner with fur baby. And that is what this video is all about. If we've never met before, my name is Anita Cordell and I make videos about all things Kansas City: where to sleep, where to live, what to do on the weekends, where to play, and what kind of recreation in Kansas City. And of course, I talk about the weather. I'm also a licensed real estate agent and a team leader of the Yellow Brick Group, and we help people just like you buy, sell, relocate, and invest right here in our amazing city. Why? Because there's no place like home. My contact information is below in the description. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to call me, text me, or email me. And also too, if you want to set up a consultation, there is a link in the description below. It goes right to my calendar. You can set up an appointment and we will talk about your real estate goals. Now, in today's video, I have helpers this time. You'll notice that my scene is a little different. And so I decided to sit in my living room with two of my dogs. This is Max and this is Ruby. As you can see, they're oh so excited about doing this video with me, but they're certainly comfortable. And in this video, I'm gonna be talking about different tips for you as a seller who has fur babies like myself and you're trying to sell your home. The first tip deals with what you can do before the property goes up on the market, and that is to get your house professionally clean. I'm not just talking about a quick dusting and vacuuming and making sure that there's hair that's swept up. I'm talking about hiring a professional to come in and deep clean your property. Now, this also should include duct cleaning. And the reason why is because there are some buyers out there that have some allergies to pets, whether that be a cat or whether that be a dog or even birds. There could be allergies out there. And in fact, some buyers may not necessarily be allergic to the animals, but they might have family members who are allergic. And so you want to just do as thorough a job as possible in cleaning your property. The second tip that I'm going to give to you as a seller who is trying to sell your home with fur babies is to make sure that you have repaired any damage that your animals have caused. This would include scratching of doors trying to tell you that they need to go outside. This includes repairing door frames where there might be scratches, or there might be puppies that have chewed on parts of wood in your home. This would also include the carpet. If your animals have made any messes whatsoever, you will need to bare minimum do a steam cleaning, and if that doesn't resolve the problem, then you'll want to make sure that you replace the carpet. This also means neutralizing any type of smells. When people don't have animals, they can often walk into a home and smell the animal. We as homeowners who have animals, we sometimes forget that they can have a scent to them, and when we have guests over, they can smell the animal, but we often get used to it and we don't smell it. And so having a neutral smell in your property will help eliminate offensive scents to those who are not used to animals in their home. The third tip is when you are getting ready for photos, you are going to want to remove any trace of animals for the photographer. That would mean putting away dog bowls, putting away water bowls, making sure that all the toys are picked up. And I'm not just saying picking up and putting it in a cute little basket and putting the basket in a corner of a room. I'm talking about picking them all up and taking that basket and hiding that basket so that no trace at all of animals are in the photos, because when they are, then a lot of times buyers will look at that and feel automatically that the house is unkept. This also includes cat towers as well, you know, like those tall towers that cats scratch on. Go ahead and put that in the closet. This is not being deceptive at all, because you are going to disclose, which is another tip that I have, but it's just removing any traces so that the photographer can come in and do their job and not have to work around all of the animal supplies. The fourth tip for you as a seller who is trying to sell your home with fur babies is just be honest. Make sure that you disclose the pet history of the home and be honest. We have here in Kansas City a seller's disclosure, and that seller's disclosure is signed and filled out by homeowners when they put the property up on the market. And in that document, there is a question of pets and if there are any pets that have been on the property. You will want to make sure that not only do you check the box yes, but that you actually go a step further and explain what kind of animals are in the house, how long have you had them, whether or not they're shedding. Any kind of information that you can share about the animals would be helpful. Better to over disclose than to not disclose at all and have a buyer come in and be offended by that. Now, once you've prepared the property and you've got all of your photos and everything ready and your house goes up on the market, you're probably thinking, now what do I do about my pets? The first tip that I have for you when you're getting ready to go live is to consider relocating your animals to another location. You've got friends and family who I'm sure would absolutely help you in this scenario. It might only be a weekend or a week or what have you, but if you can have somebody take care of your animals while it's showing, it's going to actually help you. If you don't have any friends or family who would be willing to help you out with that or could help you out with that, then you could always board your animals. Now, I have a story to share with you regarding this. I was out showing a property and my buyers were behind me, and I unlocked the door and I walked in and went across the room to turn on the lights. And in between me and the door was a sofa. It was about the size of this sofa here. And so I was standing behind the sofa and they were standing at the doorway waiting for me to turn the lights on. And out of nowhere, I hear this screeching noise, and this cat, big huge cat, jumped out of nowhere and landed on the top of the sofa in front of me, hissed at me for 10 minutes, would not let me move, would not let me make any kind of sudden change in my body, hissed and looked literally like it was going to attack me. Its hair was up, and my buyers were freaked out. None of us were cat people, and I was freaked out. And I was slowly called the listing agent to let her know that I was trapped inside the house, getting ready to be attacked by this cat, and couldn't get a hold of the listing agent. And finally, after probably just moving slowly and skirting my way towards the door, I finally made it out. That is one example where, you know, you don't necessarily want to have a guard cat or a guard dog in your property when you're trying to sell your home, because then that inhibits a buyer from even being able to go in. And that happened. My buyers absolutely refused to go in. We left and they never got to see the home. So that is just one story where if you have especially a guard dog or a guard cat, you'll want them to be removed from the property while it is up on the market. If you don't have the ability to relocate your animal, then consider putting them in a crate and making sure that they are locked down while people are in the property. Speaking of locked down, if you have a dog that is a barker, my cute little Max here is a barker. And if I could not relocate Max, if I was trying to sell my home and I had him in a crate, I would want to make sure that I have a bark collar on. It doesn't hurt them. It just makes sure that they are not barking the whole entire time that a buyer is walking through a property, which has happened on multiple occasions when I am with buyers and we are looking at properties. Dogs oftentimes can be left in the property and they're in a crate, which is great, but they're barking the whole entire time. And so what happens is the buyer has a really hard time with envisioning the house as their own if they've got a dog making a lot of noise. See you, Ruby. Oh, Ruby wants to continue playing. You want to come up here? Come back up here and sit with me. Come on. Come on. There we go. Nope. Now, if you're not able to relocate your animal while the property is on the market, you're gonna still want to make sure that you keep your property as clean as possible. And that means vacuum your house every single day. This will keep the air fresh. It will help keep the hair at bay. Even if you have non-shedding dogs like mine, it'll still help the process and it'll still help the way that the property looks. The next tip when your property is up on the market is to make sure that you clean the outside of your house. Yes, that means your yard. There's nothing worse than going outside and showing the property to a buyer and they step in bombs. You want to make sure that your yard is spruced up, and after every single time that your dogs go out, you follow them and clean up the backyard. You do not want to have to worry about that when you're showing the home. You want to make sure that your prospective buyers are absolutely comfortable with a home and they can envision this home as their own, whether they are pet owners or not. And stepping in things is not helping the situation. And this next tip that I have when your property is actually on the market is when you get feedback from buyers or a buyer's agent and they say something about the animal, like, I really wish I wouldn't have seen that dog bowl, or whatever it is, just don't get offended. You remember, you are selling this property to a buyer and you're wanting to make sure that they feel as comfortable as possible. So don't get offended if they say something about your fur babies. Moving on from all of those stages to the very last phase where you have got a buyer who has written an offer and you've got a ratified contract. You want to make sure that you are prepared for the buyers to come back into your home. Just because you have a ratified contract does not mean that you should let your guard down. What I mean by that is they've still got to come back into your home and do a homeowner's inspection. The appraiser is coming back to do his appraisal process, and then you've also got the final walkthrough that the buyers will conduct, and any other repairs that they might want to check on, that is their right. And so you want to make sure that you don't let your guard down, meaning that if the dog comes in and messing your floors back up again, you got to make sure that that does not happen. So just don't let your guard down and make sure that you keep the house upkept. Now, the next tip for a seller when you're trying to sell a home with fur babies is, even though you've got it under contract and even though you're on the home stretch all the way to the very end, you're going to want to clean your house again. Anita, you had me deep clean the house when I put the property up on the market. You're asking me to deep clean the house again? It hasn't been that long. And I'm saying yes. I would really recommend that you consider deep cleaning the home prior to you passing the keys on to your buyer. And the reason why is because you want the property to be maintained at the level of cleanliness that they saw it originally. And deep cleaning is just a nice thing to do for your buyers. The next tip I have for you as a homeowner who's trying to sell your home with fur babies is to continually pick up your backyard. I know people who never pick up their backyard. And even though you have your buyer under contract and you're moving towards closing, you think you can let your guard down. That just simply is not the case. Just like you're cleaning the inside and keeping it maintained and vacuuming it and dusting it and deep cleaning it and all that, you'll want to continue to do that on the outside. And the last tip that I have for you as a homeowner who's trying to sell your home with fur babies is to do just a little gesture for the new buyers and write them a little thank you note. Thanking them for buying your home, thanking them for being patient with you as you are trying to sell your home with your fur babies. Just give them a nice little gesture like that. It can't hurt anything, especially if you've had a homeowner that is nervous about the pets or is nervous about their allergies or whatever. It's just a nice thing that you can do for the new buyers. If you like this video, be sure and give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and click that bell so that you can be the first to know when I post something new. I want to make a personal invitation to you that in the comments below, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What kind of fur babies do you have? Have you ever bought or sold a home with fur babies? What kind of challenges did you have? And was it an easy ride or did you have some bumps along the way? Go ahead and make those comments below, and that way it also will help the people who are watching this video to read your comments and they might learn some things. Also, if you live in the Kansas City area and you would like for me to do a video about a certain area, be sure and write that area down. Or if you have any questions about the home buying or home selling process that I haven't answered on this channel, be sure and put that question below in the comments. I would love to do a video about your needs. And as always, go out and have your best Kansas City life.